From Susquehanna Country's largest and most highly acclaimed broadcast news organization, this is Action News. And now for TV 12's Action News, here's Jim Matthews with Mitch Gross and Bob Buchanan.
Hello, during the next half hour, the Action News team wants you to know how the town of Maine is improving its fire protection. More work will be needed on the Exchange Street Bridge. And a battle for first place at the Corning Classic has added excitement to one hot afternoon on the course. But the big story on Action News, the Anna Linder case. Earlier this week, Linder was removed from her garbage-filled home in Johnson City when police discovered the decomposing body of her husband. Information on her future is limited due to confidentiality on patient information. However, those close to the story tell us she will be found mentally competent. Greg Catlin has the latest in the situation from the Action Newsroom. Greg?
For several days now, Anna Linder has been undergoing psychiatric evaluation at the Binghamton Psychiatric Center. Johnson City Village officials believe she has been found to be mentally competent or will be, although there has been no official word. Linder, believed to be 68 years old, was taken from her home Sunday after police found the decomposing body of her husband in an upstairs room. Police say 66-year-old Benjamin Linder died of a heart attack some 2 weeks earlier. William Maney is the Johnson City Village Attorney.
The best report that we have now is the rumor and some unidentified source in the psych center said that she was found competent.
What does that mean? Basically,
that's a legal term that's being used under the mental health law to say that she's not really a threat to herself and not really a threat to anybody else.
But Linder will not be allowed back in her home until it's cleaned up and no longer a hazard. Police discovered years of accumulating garbage rotting inside everywhere, piled 2 to 4 feet high. It has been condemned by the county health department as unfit for occupancy.
I've begun preparation of an injunction along with the county attorney's office to be seeking court direction on this, and that it be enjoined to do the necessary work that's going to have to be done.
Maney estimates it'll cost $2,000 to $5,000 to get the place cleaned up and up to code. He also says that he's been told Linder will remain at the psych center through the weekend, and then the County Department of Social Services will meet with her sometime next week. Jim?
Thank you, Greg. A new wrinkle is being added to efforts to protect lives and property in rural areas. Town of Maine firefighters have a new weapon in the war against fire. Paul Daphne reports.
When a rural fire company has to battle a blaze, the main enemy is lack of water. Without a public supply and hydrants, the water has to be trucked in, and that means special setups and pumps along with lines being laid. But this could be a solution to that problem. It's called a dry hydrant. It's a permanent line into a stream.
These site locations will enable us to have an area, say, where the water is 15 feet down over a bank through the brush, and that water source will still be accessible to us all year long, despite any obstacles that might be in our way.
There's another advantage to this thing. As you might expect, the stream back there freezes up in the winter. And with this, you don't have to chop a hole in the ice to get to the water. The Town of Maine Fire Company wants to put in 10 more like it. It will cost about $6,000. The money is coming from New York State.
The expense is well worth the payback instead of having to drive an extra 2 miles to a water source that's available to be used.
But until other sites are found and deals worked out with landowners, this will sit as a lonely sentinel. Paul Daphne, Action News in the Town of Maine.
A solution to another problem is in the works in Vestal. Veronica McQuillan reports on a traffic headache and what's being done about it.
Vestal's population has grown in recent years, and with the population increase has come an increase in traffic. Now Vestal residents say some of that traffic is going too fast. Jean Henderson lives on Country Club Road.
Well, there's a greater volume of traffic, and they seem to be going much, much faster, especially at the rush hours, morning rush hour and late afternoon rush hour, and a lot more congestion at this intersection.
Henderson and 50 of her neighbors have signed a petition seeking stricter enforcement of the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit in their area. The petition was accepted this week by the town board. Officials say police department is now beefing up patrols in the area to monitor the problem.
I don't think there's any fault of anyone. I said the demographics are changing in this area with the new construction. Growth is certainly desirable. I brought her tax base benefits everyone. But of necessity, what was maybe adequate stop signs, speed zones 25 years ago may not be with today's increased traffic.
In addition to more enforcement, residents are suggesting that the speed limit on Country Club Road be lowered to 15 miles an hour by the Vestal Hill School. They also think a three-way stop sign at Country Club and Washington Drive might help slow traffic too. Veronica McQuillan, Action News, Vestal.
There is good news tonight for several hundred northeastern Pennsylvania residents who've been boiling their drinking water for 2 years. The Department of Environmental Resources says customers of Pennsylvania Gas and Water Company in the Wilkes-Barre area no longer have to boil their water before consuming it. Changes in the distribution system have eliminated an illness causing cyst in the water supply. More than 100 families in Lackawanna County have been dealing with this headache for years. Coming up next on Action News, getting across the Exchange Street Bridge might be quite a while off. And hearings on a New York State electric and gas rate increase will begin soon. We'll tell you what it'll cost us in just a moment.
Isn't it cool and pink? Isn't it cruel to think what the others miss when it comes to this? Cherry 7-Up, can't get enough, cooking your cherry best.
The Dodge Truck Blitz is on, and your nearby Dodge dealer is kicking it off with a new Easterner, a tough new full-size pickup just for this area, with features like a new 770 protection plan, automatic transmission, two-tone paint, and a list price $1,538 less than a comparably equipped Ford F-150, $1,028 less than a comparably equipped Chevy R10. Plus, for a limited time, get 3-7 financing or $500 back. See the new Easterner during the Dodge Truck Blitz right now at your Dodge dealer.
This is one part of the great outdoors everyone should see. Clean, clear, and refreshing as that Genesee beer. Jenny's a premium beer, naturally brewed for smoother taste.
And you can't beat nature.
Right.
The great outdoors in a glass, Genesee beer.
Jenny Light is 10 times better than any other light beer I've ever tasted. The taste is great. It tastes rich. Light or not, bar none, it's a great tasting beer, Jenny Light.
There's no place like Friendly for a real sit-down meal.
Introducing the new Friendly Express Lunch. When you want food fast, but not fast food.
No fast food place puts a smile on your face like our food and ice cream will.
The Express Lunch, made fresh and served in 5 minutes, guaranteed.
No place has the flavors or that glad to see you smile.
The Friendly Express Lunch.
There's no place like Friendly.
The New York State Public Service Commission will begin considering a request from New York State Electric and Gas to raise electric rates. Hearings on the rate hike are scheduled to get underway next Tuesday. NYSEG wants to increase its rate by 4%. If granted, the rate hike would boost the average residential bill to about $57 and raise an extra $42.3 million for the Binghamton-based utility. Recently, NYSEG announced it would be reporting financial losses for this year because of the costly 9 Mile 2 nuclear power plant and another power plant venture that never got off the drawing board. A $517 million expansion project was officially kicked off at Fort Drum near Watertown today. It's the second largest such project since World War II. 70 buildings will be constructed at the fort. It's the site of the Army's new 10th Mountain Division, and the work is expected to be completed by 1990. Well, more money may have to be spent if the Exchange Street Bridge in downtown Binghamton is to open again anytime soon. The bridge shut down in April when the city declared it to be unsafe. Soon after it was closed, Broome Industrial Construction was hired to put in new angle iron. But city engineer Brian Kessler tells Action News that may not be enough to reopen the span. Kessler tells us the expansion bearings on both bridge abutments are frozen. When the expansion bearings are working, the bridge is supposed to be able to slide back and forth on them as it expands and contracts. Well, now, according to Kessler, the bridge is flexing itself, when it expands and contracts instead of rolling on the bearings, and that, he says, is not a healthy situation. Kessler says a cost analysis on the expansion bearing jobs should be ready sometime next week. The engineer says he can't say just when the bridge will reopen again. A protest of work to build a detour around the collapsed Thruway Bridge near Fonda has been rejected. A state Supreme Court justice has issued a preliminary injunction against Montgomery County farmer Walter Duffel. Duffel, has steadfastly denied access to farmland owned by him for construction of that detour. He's also turned down an offer of $12,000 for temporary use of his property to get the traffic moving. Still to come on Action News this evening, we're going to be heading to the Carp roundup, believe it or not. And Mitch Gross with the report from round 2 of the Corning Classic. Mitch?
Jim, we have had a fantastic day of golf, absolutely fantastic, and I have some fantastic highlights to share with you when the early edition of Action News continues.
Now, Subaru cash rebates direct to you up to $1,500. Get your check today. Plus, low 3.9 APR financing on all new Subaru models can save you hundreds more. Plus, Subaru 550 protection plan on all new Subarus. It all adds up to one of the best new car deals in America. Cash rebates up to $1,500 direct to you. Plus, 3.9 financing. Plus, Subaru 550 protection plan. Plus, a new quality-built Subaru. Exclusive only at your local participating Subaru dealers.
Great American's a low price leader. My weekly total tells me so.
Oscar Mayer all meat, all beef, or cheese hot dogs. 1 pound packages are $1.88. Coronet napkins, assorted colors, package of 140. Superstar extra discounted at only 59 cents. And Weiler's pre-sweetened drink mixes, 5 flavors, $1.88 for the 10-quart canister.
Great American.
Cheevers, Hand & Angeline in Endicott and Owego is your full-service investment broker that also gives you big discounts on stock commission. Like other full-service firms, Cheevers, Hand & Angeline has the latest equipment, research reports, and immediate executions on all major exchanges. These are some of the big stock commission discounts offered. And if your serious money is only earning 5 to 6% interest, ask about U.S. government funds yielding 9 to 10%. Call Cheevers, Hand & Angeline at one of these numbers and let Cheevers, Hand & Angeline put your money to work for you.
When the weather turns your basement into an ugly mess, fight back with basement dewatering. Basement dewatering removes unwanted water permanently during any season of the year. Our trained professionals have developed a powerful system that's placed only at the trouble spot where the wall meets the floor, and it can be installed in a finished or unfinished room so your basement is guaranteed to stay water-free. Fight back with Broom Basement Dewatering. Call today for a free estimate. Call Binghamton 607-723-9614.
Joe Murray here, Mitch Gross in Corning with round 2 of the Corning Classic. Gentlemen?
Hot day out there. That's right. Sunny, hot, and humid for round 2 of the LPGA Corning Classic. Action Sports has been sweating it out with the pros today. Mitch Gross has the latest on round 2 live from Corning. Mitch.
Thank you, Joe. You couldn't ask for a better day and a better second round of golf. We have a tie for the lead. Catherine Young and Pat Bradley are at 9 under. We have a tie and a course record here at Corning as far as birdies are concerned. 10 of them due to Rosie Jones. And let's go to highlights right now. And we'll start with our morning leader. And I'm talking about Catherine Young. And she's wrapping it up here at number 9, doing it in fine style. She finishes up this day at -9. Misses that birdie attempt, would have put her up to -10. Taps this in, settles for 9. And she goes home to rest up for tomorrow's 3rd round. All right, Rosie Jones coming up here on number 5, 1 of 10 birdies today. It ties a course record. Rosie could do no wrong.
I was thinking to myself it was going to be my best record, my best score ever if I continued in, and actually I was trying to birdie the last 2 holes. I got 1, and no, I didn't have any idea what the record was here.
And finally, Pat Bradley. This is a putt for an eagle on number 5. Let's watch it roll.
Get in there. Get in there.
5 today was fantastic. You were so close for that eagle. Tell me about it.
Well, I hit a 2-iron in, and it kind of jumped on me when it hit the front of the green, and I had a downhill putt, but I wanted to give it a chance, and it just kept going, and I missed it just by inches, but I had about a 5-footer coming back, made birdie, and I was very pleased with that.
Naturally, you have to be pleased with the overall effort. You look like you're in a much better frame of mind as we talk today.
Well, you're right, Mitch. Today was a solid 68, and put together with the 67 makes it a real good first 2 days. And the key, though, is I've got to continue the same pace because these players are making a lot of birdies, and I need to stay and make a few myself to keep up with them. But I'm very pleased with the 36-hole start, and hopefully we can just keep on getting stronger and stronger for Saturday and Sunday.
All right, on to the leaderboard we go. Once again, Catherine Young and Pat Bradley tied for the lead through 2 rounds at 9 under. The rest of our board, Dawn Coe, Robin Walton at -8, Lori Rinker, Jane Geddes, Rosie Jones at -7. And as you can see, 3 others are tied at 6 under. Believe me, it is anybody's race. And we've just learned the cut has been made. 147, 3 over. 70 golfers will continue tomorrow morning here at Corning. Third round action begins promptly at 10 minutes of 9. Our first live update comes your way promptly at just about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Highlights throughout the entire weekend. This is Mitch Gross, 12 Live at the Corning Country Club. Joe?
All right, thanks, Mitch. A busy man. And, of course, Mitch will have an update tonight at 11 as well. Taking a look at some other scores after 2 rounds. These all former winners. Patty Sheehan 4 under, Patty Rizzo evens, Sandra Spuzic and Penny Poles are both over par. Big news at Broome Community College. For the first time in 40 years, the school is looking for a new head basketball coach. Dick Baldwin, the winningest coach in college basketball history, has announced his retirement. Baldwin seen here February 14th, the night he won game number 876. That win put him past Adolph Rupp as the college hoop coach with the most wins ever. Baldwin announced his retirement in a letter to athletic director Tony Quagliata. Quagliata says the school will advertise nationwide for a replacement for a legend in these parts. In the NBA, the Detroit Pistons hang in there, being the Celtics, forcing Game 7 Saturday afternoon in the Garden. The Pistons haven't won there in 17 straight tries. We'll see who gets to play the Lakers in the championship. Well, the Philadelphia Flyers stay alive in style for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Down 2-1 in the third, Pelle Eklund passes to Brian Propp, who ties the score with 7 minutes left. The crowd was at its best last night in Philadelphia. And then 2 minutes later, J.J. Deno shoots from long range and scores the big goal. Philly wins 3-2. Game 7 for the Cup is Sunday in Edmonton. No afternoon games in Major League Baseball today. Tonight, Dennis Rasmussen on the mound for the Yanks as they take on Oakland, and Ron Darling tries to keep the Mets winning streak going out west in San Diego. And that does it for sports.
All right, Joe, thank you kindly. Up ahead on Action News, Nancy Harrison will take us behind the scenes of the Corning Classic. We'll meet a golfer turned media pro. And what a scorcher. Bob takes us outside for a look at the 5-day forecast and today's stats. Stay with us.
There's 29 cars out there priced under $7 grand. Can you believe there's only one that comes with fuel injection and a 5-speed? It's Mazda's new 323 SE. What's more, this small road car also has oversized tires, a fancied-up interior, plus technical sophistication like front-wheel drive and 4-wheel independent suspension, all standard. Oh, it's also all kinds of fun to drive, and for my money, that's the most important standard feature of all.
Vancott Lawn and Garden in Sydney offers you savings, a complete parts and service department and variety. Vancott's large inventory includes John Deere lawn and garden tractors for rugged reliability, riding mowers that are easy on you and your lawn, lawn tractors that let you trim tightly around a movable object, and hydrostatic diesel tractors that are efficient, easy to use, and convenient. Vancott Lawn and Garden is a volume dealership that passes its savings on to you. And with only a 4% sales tax, you can't afford not to go to Vancott Lawn and Garden in Sydney.
Giant brings you these money-saving specials to help you lower your total food bill every day. River Valley sliced strawberries in the 16-ounce package are just 99 cents. All varieties of famous Linder's bagels are just 3 for $2. Green Giant frozen corn, peas, or cut beans are 79 cents for the 1-pound bag. And assorted Stouffer's frozen entrees, including the 21-ounce lasagna servings, are just $2.18.
See you at the Giant.
You're about to take a trip in a new Chrysler LeBaron, a true driver's car that gives you luxury and the luxury of saving. LeBaron prices start at just $11,295, and right now you can get 3.7% financing or $1,000 cash back. Plus save hundreds on our discount equipment packages and get the 770 protection plan. But to take this luxury saving trip, first you have to take a trip to your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Contact Matthews Chrysler Plymouth on the Vestal Parkway.
For most of us, life has settled into a routine of sorts, but we all likely have some hidden dream or ambition. Nancy Harrison introduces us to a lady who is mixing her everyday work with her wildest dreams.
Sandy Owen is a media relations coordinator for the LPGA. As such, she runs a media room at tournaments like the Corning Classic and arranges news conferences with the pros.
A lot of times it's just getting players to where people want them. You know, they have so many demands on their time that sometimes I feel bad asking them to do 3 and 4 different things in a week. But they're pretty easy to work with. They realize it's an obligation.
Sandy did not always want to work in public relations. She wanted to be a pro golfer. In fact, she even tried twice to qualify for the LPGA Tour, but each time she failed. So she did the next best thing. She went to work for the LPGA in another capacity.
Played some more mini tour and realized that although it was a nice dream, it just didn't seem like it was going to come true.
Were you disappointed when you didn't qualify?
At that time I was. Yeah, I was very disappointed. Although I had always loved to write and do other things, so I knew that I could do other things in my life. So I just changed gears.
Sandy spends 5 hectic months on the road. The rest of the time, she's at the LPGA headquarters in Texas. Nancy Harrison, Action News, Corning.
Well, it was a hot day at the country club and a hot day every place else. Here's Bob Buchanan to take a look at the weather.
That's right. There's a severe thunderstorm watching, in fact, up till 10 o'clock tonight. Nothing bad has happened here yet. In fact, it's been just a hot and humid day. 85 degrees out there right now. And across the northeast, you can see 80s and 90s. Yeah, all over the place. It is midsummer kind of readings here. Across our own area, 84 degrees there in the Catskills, as high as 92 over there at Wilkes-Barre. Had a few showers in a few places, but it didn't drop the temperatures much. 1/1400ths of an inch at Oneonta, 1200ths down there at Towanda. We've had 70% of the sunshine at Link Field and no precipitation at all. Now, as far as the norms are concerned, 69 is the normal high. Just a year ago, we had 84, and that was the record, and we broke it again today. At 3:30 this afternoon, we had 87 degrees officially at Link Field. Of course, downtown, they were in the 90s. And a normal low, yeah, right on the 50-degree mark, and we stayed in the 60s overnight. The lowest we've been so far is 64 degrees, and that happened at 6 o'clock this morning. Now, as far as the country is concerned, it is midsummer here in the eastern part of the nation as far as temperatures are concerned. And then when you get out into the west, a little bit cooler than even normal and pretty chilly right here in parts of Utah again and northern Arizona, but they will warm up, of course, as the day will get on. That is a 2 o'clock in the afternoon reading, our time. And I see most of the clouds have moved out of New York now, and there are still some thunderstorms in extreme southeastern New York State. Good deal of clear weather here in the east, even though it is hot and humid. A lot of clouds right here over Texas and some up there in the western mountains, but not too much precipitation out there. Most of it is falling right there across the plains and into the high plains and right down the Mississippi Valley. Some pretty good zingers there. And as you can see here in the northeast, some pretty good thunderstorms, but they have moved on away. We've had them in the Adirondacks and the Catskills, but nothing here yet. Do have that chance, though, up until 10 o'clock tonight. Here's a setup of the high pressure just pumping this warm air in a jet stream that is going right in this fashion. So even though the air might come out of the northwest once in a while, it is warm air. Now here's the way it'll look 24 hours from now, the same thing. And in fact, this whole thing isn't going to clear us and probably until about Tuesday of next week. For tonight, we can look for partly cloudy skies. It's going to be humid, maybe some areas of fog, and there's a 30% chance of a thunderstorm, and the temperature will stay in the 60s, of course, until 10 o'clock. You have a chance of a severe thunderstorm. It's a watch in effect. For tomorrow and tomorrow night, a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and then a 60% chance on Sunday. We're going to be in the upper 80s for around 90 tomorrow, in the middle 80s on Sunday, and nighttime lows 60 to 65. Better chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday. It should become fair and a little cooler on Wednesday. Highs right around 80 degrees because of the cloud cover Monday and Tuesday. Will drop into the 70s because of the cooler air on Wednesday. The nighttime lows in the 50s and 60s will settle into the 50s on Wednesday. This is July.
I'll say July's come early. No complaints. Thanks, Bob. Still to come on Action News, a real fish story from a farm pond in Windsor. That story after these words.
There's one. Hey!
Spring rally time at your local Ford dealer. That means the best deals yet on Ford Taurus, Tempo, and Escort. Take the hot-selling touring sedan Ford Taurus. Base price just $10,650. Now get low financing or cash back direct from Ford. We're dealing now on every new Ford in stock during the Ford Spring Rally. And we back every new Ford we sell with a 6-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's value. That's the Ford Spring Rally. See your local Ford dealer today, before they're all gone.
The heat is on TV 12. It's week number 4 of the WBNG Wheel of Fortune Hot Hollywood giveaway. And here's the fourth and final puzzle. It's a Hot Hollywood phrase. Throughout the week, watch WBNG for more clues. Add them to your official Hot Hollywood giveaway entry form and solve the puzzle. You could win a $500 shopping spree or the grand prize trip for 2 Hollywood. Winners will fly round trip aboard U.S. Air to the hottest game show on television, Wheel of Fortune.
TV 12 has your ticket to Hollywood.
Catch the behind-the-scenes action and meet the stars, Pat and Vanna.
The heat is on. Enter today.
So hurry and get your official entry form. Watch TV 12 for clues and you could be on your way to Hollywood for the hottest time of your life.
Pick up your Hot Hollywood giveaway entry forms at Mike Carnes Ford Mercury in Halstead, Lockwood's Department Store in Bainbridge, and Prime Line Distributors in Endwell.
The consumer revolution has been won. Wall-to-wall sound and video Superstore is now open at 185 Court Street in downtown Binghamton. We've ended the high cost of home entertainment with everyday low prices guaranteed on the area's largest selection of audio and video equipment, records, tapes, CDs, movies, and more. All backed by our no-hassle guarantee and toll-free customer hotline. The wall-to-wall sound and video Superstore in downtown Binghamton. Come in and see what it's like to be a winner.
These stories also making the early edition of Action News. The New York Power Authority has approved the allocation of cheap hydroelectric power to Chautauqua County to help keep 800 jobs at a local printing plant. The company, Greater Buffalo Press, is expected to invest $65 million to update that facility. Pennsylvania Governor Casey has appointed 14 prominent residents to overhaul the state's job training efforts. The task force, part of Casey's Economic Development Partnership Board. The Otsego County maple producers will get together June 6th in the Cooperative Extension Office in Cooperstown. That gathering takes place at 7:30 in the evening. The junior high school band and chorus will conduct the annual spring concert in Oneonta next Tuesday evening at 7:30. The public cordially invited to attend at the high school auditorium. And finally tonight in Wild Wild Endicott, the men are men and the carp are terrified. Action News reporter Pat Zyga with a tale of the coming Carpie Derby.
See those buckaroos in the cowboy hats and the baggy waders? Yep, this is a roundup all right, a carp roundup in a farm pond just north of Windsor. This is where you get the raw material for the Bob Huckabone Carpie Derby. They drag a net down the pond and chase the carp into the waiting nets at the other end. Simple, right? Not really. It's hard work in the hot sun, but each time one of the big fish is snared, it's a little victory.
There's one! Hey! I knew we'd get one.
It's a good thing. Real good thing.
Any slip-ups along the way?
Always. Always. Everybody comes back wet. We have a good time.
On shore, the fish are filleted for next Saturday's Carpie Derby in Griffin Park.
We'll have a lot of different kinds. We'll have pickled and smoked and deep fried and Cajun, a lot of different kinds. So if you don't care for Cajun, then you probably won't care for carp. If you like Cajun style, you'll like carp. It's a thing where people put down carp.
It's easy to see why, though. Carp are not exactly the most attractive fish. Huckabone says the fish are in love right now. In other words, they're spawning, so they're pretty active. They hope to round up between 50 and 60 carp out of this pond today. Competition, education, and recreation are the three main objectives of the Carpie Derby. And while you're eating your Cajun carp next week, give credit to these brave souls, sinking a foot deep in the mud to catch those crafty carp. Pat Zyga, Action News, Windsor.